Hello, hello, hello. Ah, hi, Cheryl, Debbie, Jeanette, hello. Karen, hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, we'll wait for a few more. I feel a little bit unprepared. That's okay. We are back. I'm out of Facebook jail and we are back. So that sort of caught me out last week because it happened right before again. And well, it happened the night before. And last time I got back on in the morning and I was back again, but this time it took 2 days. Hi, Ange, Anne, Leanne, Chris, hello. Oh, I'm upside down. I'm upside down. There we are. Come around that way. Susan, hello. So I was getting a little bit panicky when last time I panicked because it just seemed like spam, but I know now that it's real. And but it came on the next morning. When it didn't come on the next morning, I thought, oh, I'm getting worried now. But anyway, the next morning it came on. Hi, Sol, Sue, Naomi, hello. But yeah, it's a bit scary when they can just shut you down. Leanne, they just said it was for cybersecurity, potentially breaking their cybersecurity community guidelines, and they just give you a link to the community guidelines, and then there's like 100 different links of which section you might have broken, and then you go to cybersecurity, and that really doesn't tell you anything. And all I had done, hi Trish, hi Carmel, are you new here, Carmel? Maybe. I had just put 2 links up in the Tilda Lovers page by invitation. It was the post that Fee had invited us to put our projects on, and literally it was instant. Just everything just goes blank, and you get that screen with "You have been suspended. Appeal now." And I'm remembering back now, I think it was exactly the same thing as last time. So I probably won't be putting any more links in that group. Hi, Jane. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Leanne, Dell. I did ask Fee if she had any different security things in the group settings, like not being able to put links. But other people had put links, and I reached out to Jemima. She had one right above me, and she was fine. Although I couldn't see her link, it had disappeared, and mine had disappeared too. People had commented on my links, but I couldn't see them. And even more frustrating is you get the notifications on the front of your phone. So people were commenting and messaging me, but if you went into it, I just came up to the blocked page. So anyway, I'm back, and it's just scary. You never know when you're going to be in the naughty corner again. Hi, Denise. Hello. Yeah. But I do have a backup this time now. I do, if worse comes to worse, I've got full access through another door to my pages, just not my profile. So if I ever get banished permanently, because it's when you put the appeal in, it says if we do not, if your appeal doesn't work, then you're banned for life. So yeah, exactly, Leanne. I'm sure it's just AI that picks it up, and then when you put the appeal on, a real person must look at the appeal and realise that you're all fine. They say, oh, we're very, very sorry to have worried you, but we must keep our community guidelines, strong. So yeah. Hi, Christine. Hello. Yeah. Anyway, hi, Shelley. Cup of over on YouTube. Or Jane's on YouTube too tonight. Yeah. So anyway, so that was last week, and so I didn't actually even get anything prepared for last week, so I didn't have to go in and do that. Today it's been a public holiday here, so it's the Hobart Show Day public holiday today. So the south of Tasmania all had a public holiday today, and the north half, I'm not sure where the line is, if it's Campbelltown or Oatlands or what, but the north half get one for Launceston Show Day at a different time of the year. So we've had a public holiday today. Hi, Julie. Hi, Liz. So Joe and I went for a drive across to Orford, did a little recce for an event next year, and went to a couple of distilleries, a winery which was closed, had a nice lunch out on the water. Yeah, so we've had a day out on a day off. Hi, Jane. Exactly, Sharon. There was actually the night that I was in jail, there was a current affair bit on there about a lady who'd been banned indefinitely, and she couldn't appeal. Not sure if it was Instagram or Facebook, but anyway, it was a story on a current affair, and apparently after they had run the story, and they reached out to Facebook, it was reinstated, even though they told her there was no other way of ever getting it back. And she, her whole business was on Instagram or Facebook or something. I do have other avenues because we all know that Meta owns all of our stuff on there, and they can take it and shut it down whenever they like. So we know that you've got to have, emails and things, other ways of getting to you. But I couldn't do a live. I could have done a live just to YouTube, but I didn't think everyone would find us there. Hi, Joe, Yvonne, Jeanette, hello. Yeah, exactly, Naomi. Yeah, they do nothing about that when you make a real human report. Sue, Lorraine, hello. Kylie, hello. So, yes, Joe and I did a little recce today, a couple of distilleries, and I did buy some gin, but it's still in the car. I forgot to bring that in, as did Joe, but it's all right because I've still got some left from Donna to taste tonight. So, if you remember, a few weeks ago, I had that little box of 3 from Donna, and we tried the blood orange from the Charles Reuben estate. So I've got pink grapefruit, or have got pure Tasmanian cherry fruit brandy. I'm not a big fan of grapefruit. It might be all right, but I'm going to try the cherry. I had a rhubarb and a cherry one today. The cherry was very nice and a slow. Hi, Gidget. Hi, Janet. Morning over there. Maria, hello. Fiona, hello. Yes, I'm sure you all missed me. You're all sitting up ready probably before we had to cancel. Hi, Hillary. So I'm going to try the cherry fruit brandy. Okay. And it's from Charles Reuben Estate. I did have the little card about it somewhere. Let me read. This pure Tasmanian fruit brandy, or eau de vie, has been distilled in the centuries-old European tradition to keep elegant fruity flavours and a complex character. Ripe selected fruit from Tasmania has been fermented naturally and carefully crafted into this unique spirit. So it's not technically a gin, but it's just because it's cherry and fruit, it's going to be sweeter and maybe more of a brandy. Let's try. Whew, that burnt my nostrils. It's pretty strong. Hi, Deb. Hi, Anne. 40%. Okay. Oh, that one burns. That burns. Carol, hello. Oh, yeah. I'm not driving now. I've already driven home. I have to be careful today, but anyway. It's nice like that. Quite fruity. Okay. All right. I'm not sure it's my favourite, though. My favourite cherry. I've got a few cherries. I think I like the one today I had better, which was from... what was the cherry one today? The second place we went to. Wayfarers. I think it's called Wayfarer. Fiona, I missed you so much. I asked Joe if you were doing the live last night, as I thought yesterday was Thursday. Yeah, Joe was a bit mucked up too this week because of the public holiday. Pam from Ocean Grove. Welcome, Pam. I think you're new here. Karen, hello. From Ocean Grove, just down the road from our in-laws. All right. So I'm going to say the same as I say every week. Don't have a lot to show you because we weren't at the shop today. And I've been so busy making everything for our H&K Happy Box for Christmas, all things that I can't show you because, we want them to be a surprise when you get your boxes, that I don't have a lot of work to show you. Hi, Vera. But anyway, I found a couple of things. So let's start with some new fabrics that did come in yesterday. So we can unbox those. And get everything else out. Oh. I'm sure there's some more things here. Okay, get all the little bits out. See, some nice fabric companies, when you get all the bolts out of the box, you find a little gift in there for you. So here's a little pack. I hope they're musk. I think they might be musk. So it's from KK Fabrics, Kennard and Kennard. Oh, they might be like fruit tingles, I think. Yes, I think they're fruit tingles. Thank you, Kennard and Kennard. Sorry, Joe, you should have unboxed them at the shop. All right. Let's go onto our overhead. Oh, hang on a minute. My overhead's not working. Oh, maybe I'm on the wrong. Let me just check here. No, I'm right. Hold on. Just hold on one tick. Why is it not working? Hold on. All right, that's on. If they're ready, Janet. If they're ready. Sorry, Joe. Hi, Sue. Yeah, we can certainly ship it early if we've got it ready. We're just waiting on things to arrive. I wonder why that's not working. Bradley, why is it not working? All right, I'll have to just open another camera here. Hold on a tick. I have to go back to old school. All right, there's my head in it. But now it's not zoomed in. Deb. Yes, it is live on Facebook as well, Deb. Yes. I'm really cross with that. Why is that not working? Nothing else I did differently. All right, so this one is cute little sheep. See? I'm getting all these nice I Spy ones in now that I've finished my I Spy. But these are cute little woolly sheep on there. So that is very sweet. And then the next one, I'm not sure. I don't remember getting two. But this is bigger cute little sheep. So it's got little sheep in a paddock and baby sheep and mummy sheep. Yeah, we've already got our Christmas cutoff dates, Janet. So we did get them this week. So I will check what they were. Yeah. So this is, lots of sheep jumping over fences and in the paddock with trees and things. So it's a coordinate to that one, obviously. Oh, Julie, where have you been? Hi, Karen. Two choices, Sharon. A hard choice because there's things in there that you would be able to make by Christmas if you did open it, or you could just save it and have them all ready for next Christmas. This one's nice. This is Blooming Colour 2 by Wolf Paper, Benetix. Oh, that's nice. Make a nice skirt. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Marg. You're in Sydney, yes. Oh, and then this is a coordinate for that one. So make a nice bag and lining with this one. So I'm pretty sure that doesn't tell me what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's the same range. Yep, so that goes with that one very nicely. That's nice. Ooh. Maybe this is all the same range. I think they've rebolted these and they haven't got the actual fabric numbers or names on the bolts. But this is another one. Blooming colour too. Yeah, same collection still. So there's that one. Oh, that's nice too. Are we going to do Chicks at Stitch next year? Yes. Did you come this year? I think you did. Sue sent out an email last week with a save the date for Chicks at Stitch. So if you didn't get that, check your spam boxes if you were there last year. Otherwise, bookings are opening later in November, and then they'll go to people on the wait list if you weren't there. But you were there, weren't you? You've been before. Great for shoes. Yes, would be good for shoes too. Here's another one. Another coordinate for it. Oh, I don't remember ordering these, Joe, but is it okay? I never ever remember. They take so long to come that you never remember. And then here's a lighter coordinate, so you've got a bit of contrast. It just goes with it if you need it for a lining or something like that. So let's see if I can turn these. Yeah, not the sheep one, but all of those are from the one collection. They're nice and bright. It'd be very nice. There we go. So that's just a few fabrics. Those all back in out of the way. I can put the lengths for those ones in. Okay, let's go back over to here. I don't know why. I want to get my scene change working. Just comes up with a big green button that says O. Yeah, well, I want to know why O. Let me just check again. I'm here. That is on OBS. Yes. Okay. I don't know why it's not working. Is that not working? That should be right. No. Don't know. Anyway, we'll go back the old manual way. Anyway, we'll deal with that later. I'm wearing blue in my profile pic. Sorry, I've missed something there. Which blue? Hi, Denise. Hello. Welcome home. I think you've been home for a little while now. Do you epic holiday? Robin's still not home, I don't think. All right, a couple of other things to show you. These are the things we have all the time, that I use all the time. Okay, so we have what we call clamp pullers, which I think a nurse would call hemostats. Janine, hello. A bit late. So I use these all the time. We've got a few different shapes and sizes for turning things through and getting the end of a tube, locking it in there, pulling it through, turning bags through, stuffing, all sorts of things. Now, I actually don't like the ones that have the little clampy bit there because they get clamped all the time. Yeah, I think she is, Catherine. Sailing boats and drinking lots of wine. Yes. But these ones that in particular here are the clampy ones, which means you can really clamp them in. But if you were handy, I'd actually file those off or even angle grind it off or something. Yes, Andrew, you can catch up. Yes. Your back order, Julie. We're slowly catching up with the paper coming in. I know everyone's being very patient with back orders, and poor old shed guy's working day in, day night as his back allows. So, yep. So we've got those clamp pullers, I call them, but I think, technically they're hemostats or something. They're a really handy tool to have. And then we have these, has to be pink, little pliers. So they're really good for your bag making, for jump rings. I don't know. I just use those little pairs of pliers all the time. I can't go to overhead, can I? In a minute. We have to go on to this one. So, yep, we've got our they're just little jewellery pliers with the nice thin noses on them, but they're really handy to have in your toolkit. You'll always use those. Even sometimes when I can't get a pin or a needle through, I actually use those as pullers sometimes, but just to save your hands. Yep, lots of different uses for those handy ones. And then just a revisit of our silicone tools. So these are just silicone tools, and when I use those is when I'm having to iron or press seams open, and you've got steam on. Yes, great for doll making for sure. When you've got steam on in your iron and you're trying to press seams open or binding in half and things like that, and the steam just burns your hands terribly. So, yep, we use the little silicone tools either to run along the open seam as you're following along with the iron, hold things down in place. So, again, just a handy tool set to have on your ironing board near your iron. I don't know what you want, Bentley, and you're not having it. Okay? I don't know. There's nothing up there. Nothing up there for you. And then also back in stock are our little sewing machine cleaners, our little lint brush cleaners, which I use all the time in my sewing machine bobbin area to get all the, I've just got a little bottle brush on them, and you can just sort of tuck those into all the little tiny areas in your bobbin area and get all the dust out. So they're back in stock as well. There's your question. Regarding the leave-in orange quill shapes, would the 3-inch ones be the right size for... I don't know, Melissa. I don't know that pattern. I'd have to look it up. Is that the Veronique's pattern? If it is, I'm not sure if it's 3-inch enough or not. So you need to measure what your square is, and then from point to point, that's that way. That's how we size our orange pills. So if it's a 2-inch orange pill, it's going to measure point to point in a 2-inch square. So if it's a 3-inch square that you're putting it on, then we'd call that a 3-inch orange pill, if that makes sense. Yeah. In a safe place. Of course you do, Catherine. Yes. Yes, Veronique. Yes. Okay. I'm not quite sure. It could be, but measure the size of the square. So it will tell you what size to cut the square, and then I'll be able to tell you the size of the orange pill. Bentley, what do you want? All right, what else have I got? We have got a few lasts going on discount. We have got these rolls of Aurifil threads, and they were put into kits for, now Joe did tell me what the pattern was, but they were for quilting the Dresdens on one of my patterns, can't remember. Well, you're saving money up for retreats, Fiona. Anyway, so they are all 50 weight in nice bright primary colours to match your colour wheel. And I was going to say that they will do 40% off, but I don't know what the price was. They're not priced, Joe, so I don't want to know what the initial price was. If you can look up. Razzle-dazzle was the quilt, that's right. And it had hand embroidery mandalas in the middle, and then it had a machine Dresden method in little stars around it. So we still sell the threads for the embroidery because that they the Cosmo threads that I designed for Cosmo several years ago, 13 new ones. But we've got 4 sets of these beautiful Aurifil threads to match the colour wheel. And you can have them 40% off, but I don't know what the full price is, so I can't tell you that. So if anyone wants those, there's 4 only left. And so you can just comment in the comments if you want one of those. Hi, Nancy. All right. We had some, oh, where were my books? We had some books, final books. Oh, under here. Oh, I just found something else I was going to show you too. Okay, do we have any Barbaras in the room? Any Barbaras in the room? I think it was Barbara, was it? Or was it Margaret? Let me check. Okay, so I have a signed copy of my book with transfers to Beverly. Sorry, Beverly. Any Beverlys? Tanya, 1 for the threads, okay? And so Beverly ordered, and I'm not quite sure how this happened because they don't normally order without paying, but ordered and requested a signed copy of the book to her. So I signed it and wrote it to her, and then she never paid. So we have a signed copy of the book with transfers in 24. Yes, please, to threads, Karen. Is that what you're saying? So we're going to say if anyone would like the signed copy to Beverly of the book and transfers, you can have it for $20 instead of about $45 for the book and transfers, maybe even more than that. So anyone want a book to Beverly, then you can have that one with the transfers for $20. Okay, we have that one. We also have the very last, I think it's the last one, Beyond Log Cabin book by Kerry Gadd, which, if you want to play with log cabins, has some amazing different versions of log cabins in there. Scrappy, wonky, triangles. If only I had the time, I'd play with all of these things. Look at that. That's amazing. So there's one of those that will do for $12. If anyone wants to play with log cabins, just one of those. Oh, terribly sorry. It is 40 weight. Yes, it is 40 weight. Sorry, Melissa. Just the colour I looked at was 50 and I just saw that. Oh, no, maybe it's 150 metres. That's where I saw the 50. Yeah, it is 40 weight. Terribly sorry. My apologies. It is 2. Yes, 2 threads for Karen. Okay. Hi, Francis. Hi, Anita. Karen, if I get signed to Karen as well. I'll cross out Beverly and put Karen in, will I? I'll do that. Okay. Judith Morass, a set of threads, Joe. No, I don't. He's growling for something, but there's nothing up there, so I don't know what he's growling for. I don't know. Tracy, what are you calling me for? I'm on my live. You can't be phoning me. So his bed's already apart completely. I haven't restuffed it. So the Simply Red book is gone to Karen. I'm going to sign you. Cross out Beverly and put Karen. It's not storing, it's growling, Sharon. He wants something, and I don't know what he wants. He's looking on top of the piano. Does he want the teddy bears? I don't know. I'm sure there's nothing up there. Beyond Log Cabin, there's one of those. Okay. And then the other one is we found one last missing copy of Kathy Schmidt's Simply Red book. This is really one of her earlier ones. So it's got piece blocks and applique blocks in it. Karen Threads and Log Cabin book. Okay. So your dogs can't hear Bentley. Okay. That's clever. Yes. He's given up now. He's eating his bed again. So yeah, you can make. So Simply Red book. and we'll just say 15 for that one. So you can make this beautiful quilt here. It's got all the designs for that, or you can just make this smaller house quilt. Yeah, or you can just make this little one. There's a few different projects in there. Oh, here's all your projects here that's in there. 4 projects. So that's Kathy Schmidt's one, Simply Red, which my book is Simply Red Work. There you go. This one is Simply Red. No, TV's not here. Can't hear the TV. There's just something up on the piano that he wants, and I don't know what it is. You must know that something's up there. Okay, so Log Heaven book's gone. Simply Red Work book's gone. There's just the Simply Red left. Right. Let's see if I can. It's my old. Is that my old Logitech one? Okay, I've got my old Zoom on. There we are. All right. So this is a new hoop that Donna picked up at the craft show in Melbourne. So some of you might have seen it, and it's a new company in Melbourne. Oh, I had that zoomed and it just zoomed out again. Let me zoom back in. Okay, that's better. All right, so the company is called Hoop and Layer, and it's a husband and wife in Melbourne, and Natalie and was it Peter? Can't remember. Anyway, sorry. And they have developed, well, she said what she wanted. He developed these new hoops. They're 3D printing them, and they come in all these beautiful colours, matte sort of colours. So I'm considering getting them in, but I just wanted to get a little bit of feedback first. So they've designed them to be used to stitching in, but also for framing and hanging. And you can also get a little hook that goes over a hook in your wall, and then this little bolt here just hooks onto the hook on the wall, and that's in a matching colour, but you wouldn't see it anyway. But they've designed it to have no screw on the outside that your thread can get hooked on. You know, when you're sewing on a normal hook and a hoop, and, you know, Murphy's law is that every time you pull your thread through, it gets hooked on this hook here. So they've designed it to go inside so it doesn't get hooked on. And you can sort of screw it with your thumb and a finger. But, yeah, I'll do that. I'll leave Beverly's and add Karen. Okay. So you can unscrew it there, but you can't get it really super duper tight. Now, it does have, like these favourite ones here, it doesn't have a lip on one side. But what it has is it has a curved bit there, if you can see it there, and then it has a channel on the inside of this one. So it does locks your fabric really tightly in between it. But if I was putting fabric on it, so you're going to put the smaller inner ring there, and then you're going to pop that over it. Okay. And then if you want to get it really tight, you have to come in and screw this outwards until it goes really tight. It does come with this little wrench. And when you get the little wrench, you can get it really tight, really drum tight. So do it fairly tight. Tighten up your fabric. And then just keep screwing it until it is really, really firm and it's never going to move. So what I like about it is the really cool colours. Oh, I can't get that now when I'm doing it on. That they come in. They come in really cool colours. Obviously, they're a bit more expensive than just cheap Chinese hoops, but they're very solid. But my only concern is, and it's the first thing I said to her, and she said, yeah, other people said the same, is how long until I lose this little spanner. It will never stay with the hoop. So they have started putting a hole in the spanner so you can put like a loop through it or a chain or something and loop it, tie it onto your scissors or onto your sewing bag or whatever, so it's always there. I still feel I have so many sewing bags that I would lose it. I was trying to think outside the square and work out a way that they could maybe put a slot in the inside of there, and that just slots in. It wouldn't go all the way in, so you could, if you were stitching right next to the edge, you could hit it from the other side. But I'm still in my head brainstorming how they could improve it more by somehow having that attached to it so it always stayed with the hoop. But that is super tight. That is not going to get loose. It's nice and drum tight. It's not raised like these ones are. If you remember, I always say to pop that lip through, so this is a little bit raised. But it's also not sunken either like the other ones, so it still is higher than that. So you're not having to, scoop down into it. So the colours are really cool. They don't have a really soft pink. They're a lot of like nude type colours, neutral like greys and olive greens, like really cool modern colours. So so I just thought I'd get some feedback and show it to you tonight because it's brand new. They are going to be doing the trade show at the end of the month, so if your local shops are going to that, they might see them. Oh, that's a good idea, Sharon. Yes, onto a magnet, onto a thread ring. Yeah, they're definitely having the holes in it, so you can attach it to something. And yes, they would go on a magnet. I think from memory they started about $13, and that was that size or possibly smaller. This is a 5. I think it could have gone down to a 4. And they also have them in oval shape. Now, I've never used an oval shape hoop for anything. What's that duckhead blue? Let me have a look. It was a blue, but I'm not sure if it was more of a denim blue. Let me see. They have a lemon yellow, mandarin orange, scarlet red, dark red, matte plum, lilac purple, sakura pink, it is a light pink, matte ice blue, and then a marine blue, so it's not really a duck egg blue, a dark blue, a grass green, and an apple green. Oh, there's more than that. Yeah, what else have we got? Dark green, terracotta, caramel. These are the ones that I like. Caramel, desert tan, latte brown, dark brown, white, bone white, ivory white, ash grey, and charcoal. So, and they're going to stick to just those colours for now, because obviously, you could just keep going and going, and they've got to buy the base product for every colour. So they start at 120, 150, 180, and 210. So what's that? 12 centimetres. I think they start at 5 inch. 210 is just over 8. Oh, they got it in millimetres. See, I had a phone call with them and gave them a little bit of feedback. One of them should have been, put it in inches for us. Hang on, let me do the maths. So 120 divided by 2.5. A minute. So 4.8 inches, 150, 6 inches, 7.2 inches, and 8.4 inches. So they've sized them in centimetres. She's obviously an embroiderer, not a quilter. But anyway, there is around about a 6 and around about an 8, and then there's one a bit smaller than a 6, and there's one in between the 6 and the 8. All right, so I guess if I get a selection of colours and sizes, I won't be able to get them all. Use oval all the time. Yeah, okay. So I might see if she can send over a starter pack, a selection, and I'll show you in the next couple of weeks and see what we get and how they work with that. So I thought, it'd be nice to get some in, straight away and see what you think of them before I commit. Although their first opening orders, got to be pretty big, but they have a high minimum. But anyway, we'll see. So I might look at that. Did anyone else see them at the July show in Melbourne? July or September? One at Jeff Shed? Because they were there. That was their first show. But yeah, very nice, and they go very tight, and obviously to frame them in it as well as a bit of work art on the wall, which is, I think she's an embroiderer, what she was looking at, but they're nice. Yeah, nothing to get stuck on it. All right, now I'm going to loosen that off. You saw them, Tanya? They looked good. They would look really good in a stall, all of them, because the colours are just so cool and modern. Yes. Pink but not fussy, which is which colour? Okay, Sharon, I'll go through all these comments and at least I'll add what you've said in the first order. So we've got at least what you said. Was there a black? I think there was a black. Yes, charcoal is basically a black. Yep, the charcoal is a black. Would like 2 of 6 inch and a 6 inch and a 4.8 inch. Okay. Hoop and layer. Okay. I've got it so tight now I can't get it out so I can use the fabric, because I was going to show you something else. All right, I'll put that back in there because that's Donna's bag. Somewhere there was a card there. All right, now the only other thing I was going to show you, and I need to go back to the overhead now. Okay, Tanya, I'll get some in, yes. All right, just put what you want in there and I will go through and make sure I include all that in the first order plus some extras. All right, so remember my gingham blocks, my little gingham blocks. Okay, so I'm on to the next step of doing the corners of these. It was in between having nothing else to do. And I first designed these corners, and Shed Guy cut them out for me. But I was gluing them, and I thought, no, they'll look all right, but I don't think people will get perfect inner points and curves there. It was too tricky. I do try and, design with a view that it's achievable by all to get the same really nice effect on there. So I scrapped that and designed a new one. And then I was trying to get the files onto the paper and make the best use of the paper. And when it was a right angle like that previous one where I just threw it, it took so much paper because they don't actually really stack. Like they just keep going down and using all the paper. So I had to be smart there and come up with another idea, which was I'll just split them down the middle and then I can just line them all up, straight up and down, and it uses a lot more paper because there's no reason you can't rejoin them when you are gluing them on. So I just have to make sure I get one of each angle. So my glue side is down and my glue side is down. And then on my fabric, I can just join them back together, but it took a lot less paper. See, clever, isn't it? It also is going to take a lot of fabric, but I still think I would rather do one complete corner than have a join there, because we're still going to have a join at each halfway mark there. So that's for me to decide whether I waste a lot of fabric by putting them on together, or whether I do it in two halves and then just glue them down. I could do it either way. I don't know. Anyway, so tonight I thought I'd have a go at doing that. So, but now that I've done that, I just grabbed a strip of fabric. Is it going to be big enough? Yeah, I think it is. So I first of all want to have this pretty much a perfect 1/4 inch from the top. And then I'll put that one, make sure I've got it square, and then I just have to have a 1/4 inch down there, which I do. I have just enough. So I'm going to come this way, though, for my first one. So I'm going to have a perfect 1/4 inch. And now I could trim that back to a 1/4 inch after, or I can just use my eye and try and get it as a perfect 1/4 inch there now. So it's all symmetrical. Okay, I just want to make sure I've got that perfect right angle and I've got that joined together there. Oops, my fabric's on my iron. I'm going to fuse that down. Then my next one, if I get another one and another one, so glue side down, glue side down. No, that's the wrong way. That way. Nope, wrong one. Nope, wrong one. I've just got to get my opposite side. This one. See, that's now not going to work. So it's going to use all my fabric up. I can go there and there. I'm going to be wasting all that fabric in there. Which, you know, I suppose I can be not frugal. So maybe I will try doing it separately. Let's just try it and see how it goes when we join it back together. Really, it would be better like that. And really, if I was doing them all at once, I would stack them a bit better than just doing two at a time. See, if I did all the same direction, if these were all the same, I could stack them like that. But I have to be doing them all at once. So for the moment, I'm just going to try one. So I'm going to do that one, and then I'll try that one. So I'm going to want a 1/4 inch for each side of it, and I want to make sure I've got my 1/2 inch between there. So I would be doing them all at once. I would use a lot less fabric, but I just want to test both ways first. See whether I waste fabric or whether it will be fine this way too. Yes, it is cool with its little headlight, isn't it? All right, so now I'm going to cut that out, whether it's 1/4 inch. Got thread stuck around my scissors. So to be sure, I would probably get a ruler and cutter and make sure that I'm cutting exactly 1/4 inch seam allowance down those straight edges, just so I know when I put it on the corner of my block, it's exactly on the outside edge. See, I just changed the curve of that inner bit so I didn't have those points, and I've just got a curve that I can glue around. All right, now I'm going to snip into these inner curves here, not all the way to the paper. Stop a few threads short. I'm not going to snip the outer curves at all. And then on this one, and I'm doing in one piece, right, glue pen. So my outside ones I don't need to glue because they're going to go on the outside edge of my block. Could do them as a whole and stack them if you turn them 45 degrees. No, because it doesn't work, Joe, because it goes diagonally along the fabric, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Stack them down that way, down the fabric. Yeah, maybe that way would work. I'll have to cut a bit of fabric. That might work, and then you just lose your quarter. You just lose this bit at the top, and then you just keep working your way of that fabric. That might work. All right, let's try it. The two might work anyway. So I'm going to fold over the edge because that's where it's going to join. So I've already cut them into 4 quarters to go around the block. I'm also considering distributing the Applique tools, but there's another bit of feedback. You know I use my thumb a lot, but I do use the tools. And then I do have the poor man's tools as well. So again, they're not a cheap and inexpensive tool. They are very good, but I'm considering I have the opportunity to be the distributor for them now. So that's another decision I have to make. Okay, my table's a bit spongy because I've got all my ironing mats on it. Make sure I'm staying on the camera. So around this bit, this curve here, I'm going to slowly bring it around that curve, get a nice curve. Pull these slots straight right over so that the raw thread is on the back. They'll be clipped nearly to the curve, but not all the way. And because I'm doing linen, it's a little bit thicker to hold on to the glue. Cotton sticks a bit better. Just do this end over. Just give that a bit of a press to set that glue because it is a bit thicker. All right, so that's doing it in one piece. Now this one we're going to have to do down here as well. We could potentially just do one side. I'll show you what I mean by that. Just glue over one side. And we'll do this end. And that might be the way to go actually, because then it won't open up. So I'm not going to glue this other half here over. What I'm going to do is leave that one open, and that one's going to sit on top. And then we'll be like appliquing it down, but it means it won't slide open if I've glued both. So I'm going to leave that open. So I just need to do this curved bit here. that bit there. Okay, so let's get my block. Back here. Right, so one, this is if I do it whole. I probably need to trim and square up my, you would, Julie? What paper are you using? Does it stain? Using pinker shears works. Pinking shears for what, that Gail? I'm not quite sure what you're referring to there. Instead of clipping, I do that for a lot of things, but in this instance, no, we just want to clip the inner curves. Paper is the Hugs and Kisses applique paper, Kayleen. Yes, it's iron-on leave-in, stays in. Yeah, our poor man's tools, they're pretty good too, Melissa. So, but, yeah, okay, well, I've yet to decide on that. We'll have to decide. I just need to find out how much I'm going to get hit with customs duties. They're about $68, $70 minimum each. So then this one, I think I'll do the same thing on this. Leave one open and sit the other one over it. That would be a better way. And on this one, that will go to the corner. Yeah, see, I don't like it because we're going to have these tails here. No, I mean, it's possible, but I think I'm going to go back to doing it in one piece. Can you see both of those? Let me see here. So this one, I've got the issue with the tails here to deal with. So that would have to tuck under there somehow. We're going to have a big bulky tail to deal with. I think I might try Joe's stacked idea and join the two on the back like that and keep it in one piece. Otherwise, people are going to really struggle to get that nice curved bit there. Yeah. Yeah, they've never been cheap, Naomi, but I think they have gone up a bit more. So they might. I think that's the minimum we have to charge, and otherwise, yeah. But I've got to find out what all the customs and duties going to cost on top, and the freight and things like that. There's so much to think about. But if I am going to do it, I want to do it before we do the trade show at the end of the month. So I have to decide. Yeah, I think one piece is the go. Just use a bit more fabric, and so be it. I'm all for using more fabric, which I can say because, I've got a quilt shop and it feels like I'm not paying for it. I just take the bolt. But I think you put all the work into it. You don't want to be stingy and make it not the best it can be. So, yes. All right. So thank you for your feedback. And looks like you're keen for the hoops and maybe keen for the Applique tools, even just to try one. Now, I do have a... So we got rid of some of the threads. I'm not sure. I think the Kathy Schmidt's book's still available. I don't think that went unless I missed it. Oh, well done, Fiona. You don't want to lose those. Yeah. No, they're not. They come from Spain. They come from Europe. So it's not a Trump tariff this time. It's just normal duties. If we get anything into the country, you've got to pay GST, but you also have to pay a duty depending on what the item is and a clearance fee. So it all adds up. A clearance fee can be like $80 just to get it put through customs. So there's all those little extra things that get added on top from the price they quote you that you've got to be aware of before you, before you sign up to something. They're an investment, but as most of you said, they are a good investment as long as you can find them. Don't lose them. Now, Tilda fans. How many Tilda fans do we have? And actually, I didn't check this with Joe first. I just cleaned out the other day at the shop. But who collects Tilda catalogues? Does anyone collect Tilda catalogues? If the catalogues that come with all the pretty pictures and all the fabrics in them. Well, yes, we could, Catherine, but it's a patented tool, so which is why we just have our poor man sets. Okay, so I don't know how we're going to go about this, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different Tilda catalogues that were extras that we had. Joe, what are we going to do with this? Rhubarb and ginger tonight. No, rhubarb and ginger. I tasted a rhubarb one today, but it wasn't rhubarb and ginger. So, maybe next week. We'll save it to next week because I have to think about how's the fairest way to do it. Next week, be ready, and we'll have some way. You might have to answer a quiz or something. Or just do lucky draws for Tilda catalogues. But then we'll have, no, you know what I'm going to do? Next week, I'm going to have a secret word, which won't be secret. But remember how I can do a secret word? No, that's not going to work either. Yes, it will. Yes. And so those of you who collect Tilda catalogues, because I wouldn't want to give it away to someone who doesn't want it, next week you'll need to put the secret word in the comments, and then you'll go into the jar, and yes, then we can give away the catalogues. All right, so that's how we'll do that next week. So that way, I'm not drawing it out someone who doesn't even want one. So next week, 10 Tilda catalogues. They're beautiful. It's all her beautiful photography and everything. So they're just the catalogue, but they're beautiful to have. So I have got one of each of them. I'm not giving away mine, but we have some doubles. So sometimes I have them left over, and when we order, they send us extra ones. So next week, right, we're going to have a Tilda catalogue giveaway, and you'll have to put the secret word into the chat, and you'll go in the jar, but not every comment will go in the jar like it does normally. No, I don't think we've even had a Tilda Christmas one. Joe, have we had a Tilda Christmas catalogue? I don't think we have. I don't think I've got one of those. I'll have to ask for one of those. But no, I don't think we've been given one. I will ask for one. Because that would be nice to have. Yes. Okay, so I think that's everything that I had on my table to show you. Oh, no, I did have one more thing. Here, I'll just quickly show you. Where is it? Where's it gone? Too much junk on here. Yeah. Oh, we put these cute new little zip calls in. I've just got a few. I'm going to get some more, though, because I wanted to test them, and I really like them. So, let me go to overhead again. So they're these little, like, polymer bows. Aren't they sweet? Yeah, I'll hold it up. See? These little pink bows. So I just wanted to check what size they were and if they'd fit all our normal zips, which they do fit a size 5 zip. That's the right side. I thought at first they were a bit tricky to get on, but anyway, I got out my little zippered jig, and they do go on. Oh, no, I won't do it. Now, yes, it is. Aren't they sweet? There is a back and a front, though, so when they want to hang one side. But I thought they were very cute. Yeah. Anyway, I haven't even priced them or anything yet, but I thought they were nice. I'm going to get some more of those, and they did come in different colours as well. But they're sweet, aren't they? But I think you do need the jig to get them on. I really couldn't. They're a bit tighter than the normal ones, and I really struggled to get it on without the jig. Anyway, so that was one last thing to show you. Okay, what else did I miss there? Tilda Christmas quilt. Was that the big Santa one with the white background? Yeah, there was lots of pieces in it. I think Lauren's making that one as well. It's like a one, Jim, just one more, yes. Tanya, 2 of the zip pulls with your threads. Okay, do you need any zipper? That was the light pink that came with it, but they will go on any size 5 zipper. So, yeah. The Santas, yeah, there's lots of pieces in there. I think Lauren's making that one as well, but I'm not sure how far she's gotten on that one because she's really meant to be doing uni at the moment. She has uni work to do, or work for us. But anyway, okay, I think Joe got all the orders and things. That's good. We will get a winner. Let's see. This will be for something else. Caroline, you're not here, but I didn't send your thing. Dell, are you still here? No zipper needed, just 2 of the pulls. Okay, thank you. Caroline, you are here. Yes, I haven't sent you your prize from 2 lives away when Joe went away and asked me to do it, and then I forgot. Sorry, don't trust me. Don't rely on me. So you still got a prize owing, and who was last week? Or the week before. Joe's onto that one, I think. Yes, we do have the zipper jigs, Julie. Yes, we just got more in, I think. So, yes, we do have the zipper jigs. They're about $30. Okay, who do we draw? Dell. Dell, are you still here? Oh, none in stock at the moment. Sorry, Julie. Joe said none in stock, but I know they're in the order that's coming, aren't they? I saw them. I'm sure they're in the order that's coming. Dell is still here. Yes. Okay. Congratulations. If there's something else you want, let Joe know. Otherwise, she'll send you a digital prize. Well done. So, Julie, the zipper jigs might be a week or 2 away. I think they shipped. I'm sure I saw you submit it. Joe will get onto yours, Gail. We're a little bit behind with all the paper back orders. You didn't claim yours while Joe was away. Oh, Angela, well, we'll message her that. The other thing I was just going to say, what was that? If you ordered, no, I think I missed telling you, didn't I? That I think the week that we were off was when we released the Fly On Sweet Bee, the bag I'd showed you for the So Pink Cancer blog hop initiative. So that did get released in a newsletter, a special newsletter, and it is on the website. Quite a few people have purchased the kit that I'd showed you. It was the Buy Any bag in the Tilda fabric in the blues. Those orders are all just waiting on more zippers, okay? So they're all sitting there waiting on new zippers. If you bought the if you bought just the download pattern, then you could get that straight away, obviously. And if you bought the whole thing, then we'll send the transfer with the kits. They were $30, Rosie. I haven't checked if they've gone up with this shipment, but I think they're around $30 for the zipper jigs. It's a nice to have. You can use a fork and all sorts of other little tools, but I must admit, I now just go to this every time because, I've spent the money now, I've paid the investment, and I do use it all the time. It does have a 3 and a 5 on it, and I find I use the 3 for both sizes. It's still a bit tighter. The 5 side, I think, is a bit loose for the size 5 pulls, so I use the 3 for both sides, and that works. You saw how easy that worked when I did it there before, even though normally when I'm demoing, it's the one time it won't work. All right. Okay, off to work, Fiona. Thank you. Have a great week. And we're done. I've done my winner. Congratulations, Dell. And we've gone over the hour. I'll have to get on to Bradley and sort out why my Stream Deck's not working. And we will see you all next week. Yes, I am here next week. So hope maybe you picked up a thing or two tonight. Enjoyed a drink. And we'll see you all next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now.